So get this, Alan Dershowitz, the famous Alan Dershowitz, the attorney, former attorney for Jeffrey Epstein, also former attorney for Donald Trump when he was facing impeachment. He says he knows for a fact that the Epstein list exists, that there are names on a list. He knows for a fact, he's seen the list. He knows the names. He says this when he's on Sean Spicer. Remember Sean Spicer, the former press secretary for Donald Trump in his first term? He was quite the funny one, was made fun of by SNL quite a lot. But anyway, he has a show now, and Alan Dershowitz went on his show and says he knows for a fact the Epstein list exists. Watch this.
This is not an opinion. This is a fact. I have seen, remember, I was accused falsely on the Epstein, and ultimately I was completely cleared. The woman admitted that she may have mistook me for somebody else and withdrew all of her lawsuits. And so from day one, from the day I was accused, I said I want every document out because I knew every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed. And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them. But I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them. And that's wrong.
Just out of curiosity, without names, are these politicians, business leaders, both?
They're everything. And let me tell you, a lot of them are, at least one of them is somebody who was accused. Others are accusers. And the judges have said, if somebody calls themselves a victim, we're not going to give any information about them. But they may not be victims. They may be perpetrators. So we don't have information about false accusers. And we know there have been many false accusers who have accused innocent people for money. And those records are being deliberately, willfully suppressed. And they shouldn't be suppressed. If the accusation is allowed out, so should the material that diminishes the credibility of the accuser. We want total transparency on this. Every single document, no redaction. That's what I've said from day one. I waive any of my rights of privacy. Anything there is about me, I'm happy because it will be exculpatory, because I know I haven't touched a woman other than my wife from the day I met Jeffrey Epstein. I don't even hug people, but I was falsely accused and I was able to prove it. And I was able to prove it through documents. And I want other people to be able to disprove false accusations through documents. But these documents are being suppressed and withheld.
Well, it's easy to say when you know the documents are never going to be released, right? It's easy to come out and say, I'm innocent. I'm innocent. There's a lot of other innocent people too, because I've actually seen the list and I know whose name's on the list, because you know that the list is never going to be released. And you also know that if the list were released, how would we know that names and evidence haven't been erased from those lists and from those documents? How do we know that things haven't been altered, manipulated by the CIA, by Mossad, by whoever was really behind the blackmail operation? So it's easy to say when you know for a fact that the list is never going to come out. It's easy to say, I'm innocent. And if the list could have just come out there, it would have proven that I was innocent. Easy to say. Just for nostalgia's sake, let's go ahead and just remember the time Alan Dershowitz appeared on this show and made certain claims. Here's one of them. He claims he's innocent. Watch this. Mr. Dershowitz, while I have you here, I covered the Jeffrey Epstein case extensively, and your name came up quite often. Virginia Giuffre actually accused you, then later backtracked, say that she had made a mistake. There were others who had also accused you, but you had said that they couldn't properly identify you or certain parts of you, and therefore...
No. It wasn't identify. It's that one woman said she saw me walking up the stairs of Epstein's house at a time years before I'd ever met Epstein. So that was just a complete made-up story. And the other woman had written a series of letters to the New York Post claiming she had videotapes of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton having sex together, and have many other people. And then, of course, she backed away from all of it. And I've been completely, totally exonerated and vindicated. I never met any of these people. I never heard of them. I defended Jeffrey Epstein the way I've defended hundreds of other people, some guilty, some innocent. But I did absolutely nothing wrong. I've been completely exonerated. I've been completely vindicated. I am completely innocent. I've never touched anybody sexually since the day I met my wife during the relevant time period. And so I did nothing wrong, and nobody who's ever accused me has done it with any evidence or any credibility. So I'm happy to go on with my life. Let them go on with their lives, but
Right.
categorically, unequivocally, I did nothing wrong.
So you do admit that you did receive a massage at his mansion.
No, what happened is my wife got a massage at his house, and then I had a neck and shoulder massage from a woman named Olga, who was like 45 years old. Virtually everybody who went to any of Jeffrey Epstein's houses got therapeutic massages. They were offered to everybody, but I've never had a sexual massage or anything improper. I've never been touched by an underage person, so no, that's not true at all.
Okay.
What else? You have
Now,
anything else you want to throw at me?
yes, actually, I do, and I did. And this is kind of my point. My point of him coming out now and saying, if they would just release the list, you would see that I was not on it, that there's nothing there. It's totally exculpatory. Well, it's easy to say when you maybe were working for Mossad, maybe you would be able to erase some of that data. Maybe you'd be able to ensure that it never comes out into the public, that the files that are released only actually implicate people you don't like, you don't need anymore, people who aren't useful. Here is Alan Dershowitz in that same interview saying that he worked for the state of Israel before I was even born.
Okay.
Just a couple
I
more
did
things.
absolutely nothing wrong. Yeah.
Okay. Well, many of us suspect that Jeffrey Epstein was an asset to Mossad and that Ghislaine Maxwell was
That's
in
just
fact an agent of Mossad. There's a lot of
totally
evidence that
nonsense.
point to this direction, and
No,
that
there's
they
no
were
evidence.
operating a blackmail operation in
Yeah.
order to get very powerful people, including people like yourself, in precarious positions to where you could potentially work on behalf of the state of Israel or protect the
Well,
state of
I've
Israel
been
in
working
some
on the
way.
state of Israel. I've been working for the state of Israel since before you were born. Jeffrey Epstein once visited me in Israel. He had never been there. He didn't know anybody in Israel. He didn't work for the Mossad. The Mossad wouldn't hire him. And I hope he had videotapes of everybody because they would show I never did anything improper. I have one other question. Are you used to having people come on your show to talk about one subject and then sandbagging them on another subject without any warning? Because it's nice to know you do that, and it will make certain that I have nothing to hide. I'm happy to talk about any of this, but I'm used
Actually,
to more ethical journalism.
no, we actually did notify the people who booked you onto the show that you would be asked about Epstein, and they assured us that you were aware
No,
of
they
this.
never notified me about that, and you'd have to show me that email.
Okay. One last question. Do you think that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
No, of course not. Well, he didn't kill himself without the help of some people. He did kill himself, but he killed himself with the help of guards. He didn't do it by himself. He couldn't have done that. Obviously, though, the videos were turned off, and the guards turned their back, and his cellmate left. So I think he killed himself, but he killed himself with the assistance of some people in law enforcement.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dershowitz, thank you so much for joining the show. Appreciate you
Well,
being
it's the
here.
last time. It's the last time you'll have me on your show. So take advantage of it.
I think I got what I needed out of you. Thank you very much.
Well, you got what you wanted.
Certainly did. So again, look, it's easy to say now when you know for certain that the list is never coming out. The Trump administration has made sure of that. Trump has even said, "You're still talking about Epstein? Can we move on from this? We have other things to talk about. You're still talking about Epstein?" So, it's easy to say, I know who's on the list. I'm not on the list. I'm innocent. I know a lot of other people who are innocent, and unfortunately, they'll never be able to prove their innocence because the list is never coming out. Again, it's just easy to say when you know the list is never coming out. It's also suspect when you have been admitting to working for the state of Israel since before I was born, and also admitting to even hosting Jeffrey Epstein in the state of Israel, when many of us suspect that Jeffrey Epstein was an asset of Mossad. Maybe he wasn't working directly for Mossad, but certainly was being used as some sort of an asset or a source of some sort. And that is what many of us suspect and will continue to suspect. And you're going to see a lot of this. I think a lot of these people who've been accused, a lot of these people that, there's some accusations or suspicion that they maybe have visited the island or they took Lolita Express or whatever it might be. And they're all going to come out and say, well, if the list would just come out, you would see I'm not on it. Yeah. Okay. Likely story. Hey guys, thank you for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson Show, which you could check out Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. See you there.